Hello, my name is Paul Thistle. I'm currently the acting medical director at Karanda Mission Hospital. Dr. Dan Stevens is away on home assignment in America. And I wanted to share a little bit about Karanda. Starting in 1961, founded in that year, and growing piece by piece, ward by ward, to its major surgical, medical, spiritual emphasis today. We serve a catchment of 250,000 people, averaging 3 to 4 doctors and having 30 nurses on staff. We see 75,000 patients a year in total visits, and we have 4 wards broken down into male, female, children's, and maternity. We have the operating room where we have approximately 4,000 surgeries a year. So it's a busy place, starting with the hospital, extending out to the community. Our effort is to provide holistic care in body, mind, and spirit to all that come within our influence. And people come from all over the country these days because of the healthcare stresses in Zimbabwe. It's not a universal healthcare system where it's free. People have to pay, and there's private and public. Karanda represents a mission hospital, and mission hospitals are here usually in rural areas to provide a low-cost, affordable, accessible services to our underprivileged corner of Zimbabwe out here in the district of Mount Darwin.
I am Dorothy Chirindo, and I'm currently the senior tutor in charge of the School of Nursing. Karanda School of Nursing started training nurses in 1963, and since then they have seen themselves training or recruiting student nurses every year. Currently, we are training state-registered nurses, a 3-year program. The purpose of training is so that we supply the manpower that is needed at the hospital, because the hospital does not have enough nurses to care for the patients. So it is part of the agreement that as students train, they spend some of their time in the wards caring for the sick patients, and at the same time getting the well-needed experience that they need to qualify as nurses. Not only nursing is being taught, we also add Bible classes, because the school is in agreement with the mission statement for evangelism, and we consider our School of Nursing also as a place to reach young people for the Lord.
I'm Melita Larson. I'm in charge of the Midwifery School here at Karanda Hospital. We have a midwifery program at the nursing school for registered nurses after they complete their 3 years of training. It is a postgraduate course, and they have had to work for at least 2 years. We restarted the program in 1985, taking 1 group per year for a total of 10 midwifery students. And now we take 2 groups per year for a total of 22 students. In Zimbabwe, at least 9 out of every 100 women die from pregnancy-related complications. So it is our goal here at Karanda Mission Hospital that we train competent midwifery students who are able to identify problems and treat these problems to help reduce the death of mothers. We use a holistic approach to help meet the spiritual needs of our midwifery students here at Karanda, and they in turn then can help meet the spiritual needs of their women and their families in the community.
54 years ago, when the hospital began, a couple of the missionary husbands were in charge of the maintenance of the hospital besides their normal hospital duties. They had 1 or 2 employees that were also helping them. Some of those employees have just recently retired from working at Karanda. We now have 15 in our department. Seems like projects are everywhere. We have building projects going on in multiple places right now. So this place is always very busy maintenance-wise. We have to keep up with the electricity, phone issues, water issues, computer in the hospital, and all the hospital equipment. We have a good local staff, so we appreciate our guys that work day in and day out. They do a good job.
My name is James Kambudzi. I'm a chaplain here. Actually, the chaplaincy department, we do devotions every day in the morning, and we do afternoon devotions in the wards, in different wards. We also care about the spiritual matters on the hospital. Also, we do some evangelism, bed-to-bed evangelism, and some spiritual counseling, bereavement counseling, social counseling, suicidal and poor prognosis counseling. As per the doctor's order at times, but as far as spiritual counseling is concerned, we do it to everybody. So people come from different parts of the country with different religions. What we do is to preach Jesus and to give them hope through Jesus Christ.
Hello everyone, my name is Kayawa. I'm pastor of the Evangelical Church situated in the Karanda Hospital compound. I've been here at Karanda as a pastor for 21 years. I've enjoyed being here, ministering to different people who do come at this place. Some come for treatments, some for church services. But then above all, as a church, we kind of meet people who come not knowing Jesus, but as they attend church with us, some have given their lives to the Lord, and we are very, very much appreciative about that, because Karanda is like a city built on a mountain where people can see from a distance. And at the same time, as a church, we don't just focus within the compound of Karanda Mission Hospital, but we also go out to the villages. Karanda is not just a name that has gone beyond borders, but it is also doing some great things physically, spiritually, socially. People are being touched in those aspects of life.
I also work with the home-based care program. I enjoy so very much working with the community, and it is an extension of the program that the student nurses are taking to go out in the community and to learn how to help communities to cope with their health needs as depicted by what they will be going through. So the home-based care at Karanda has many projects that are going on. The very first project I want to talk about is the Goat Project, which is there so that we can produce milk to feed the orphaned newborn babies, because milk products are hard to come by and they're expensive. An average family cannot afford, but we believe they can milk a goat as they raise a newborn baby. And another program that they do is the Farming God's Way, where they feel the orphaned family, widowed families, or even if they are sick, they can be taught how they can farm on a small piece of land and produce a good yield that will help them sustain their families. Another project is the Kids Club. This is a selection of children that are HIV positive and most times on treatment as well, but they need a lot of support with their nutritional needs, psychological needs, so that they can learn to self-defend or talk about themselves as they mix with other healthy children. And there's a way of also encouraging them to take their pills. This project is very exciting as I see miserable children, just starting to realize that they can live their lives and go to school and enjoy life as other kids. And then we have got the Food for Work project. This is not a good year in Zimbabwe because of drought. So many families are needing a lot of assistance in finding grain to feed their families. In the hospital, through the home-based care program, has started the Feed for Work projects where they can work for a week and gain some, and then they'll be given like 250 kgs of grain so that they can feed the families. We also have a gardening project where we have water. We have encouraged communities to start doing gardening, green vegetables, so that they have food for their families. The home-based care supervises this. And we also have got the bicycle project, which we give to our volunteers as an incentive as they travel from village to village, from home to home, overseeing what the other clients are doing and encouraging them. And the bicycle and distribution project, it stands on its own as we also recruit volunteers, train them how to ride bicycles, train them how to take care of their bicycles before they can use them. In a nutshell, that's how the home-based care is working.
There's a lot going on here at Karanda Hospital, and what people mostly don't hear about probably is the primary school, and it is a primary correspondence school group. Correspondence School, what exactly is that? Correspondence School is actually housed in Harare, and so you have a principal and you have teachers there. We, in fact, are supervisors under them. Our supervisors are interesting. We have a full-time supervisor, and she's the director of our school, and that would be Julie Stevens. And then we have different full-time missionaries coming through, like myself. We have short-termers who come in and help us when we have a month or two where we need them. We also have a Shona supervisor, which is something new for us, which we have wanted for a long time. I think our school benefits our staff in that they can keep their children here at home. The custom here is if you have any kind of education, that you probably want your children in a school that has maybe more materials and teachers that are fluent in English. And so the staff did not want to send their children to boarding schools at the age of 8 years old. Some of the best parts of my teaching, I would say, are that I love to disciple children. We can have discussions all day long and about the Lord anytime. We can freely dialogue as if we were the parents.
Behind me you can see the first two buildings that were built in 1961 and opened in April of 1961. On your right you can see the surgical wing up above, and below it used to be the male ward. And then behind me, directly behind me, was the laboratory, administration block, and pharmacy and outpatient department. When the hospital first opened in 1961, this room right here was part of the laboratory. We've now subdivided it into finance office and the administrator's office. A few years ago, I think it was opened in 1998, on the left here, we have a new laboratory, and behind we see a new male ward that's been built. Currently, in the old male ward, which we just saw, we have the pediatric ward. It was redone and the children were put downstairs. In 1967, the hospital was found to be a little bit too small, and they added a ward. So the females moved from the female ward that was there in the original hospital over into this building, and the children were left remaining upstairs where the female ward was. At that time, the hospital was actually rated at 150 beds. I believe initially it was about a 65-bed hospital. Sometime later, this ward over here was built. There is a maternity ward here with a maternity theater or surgical suite in it, and it takes care of so many mothers and babies. The hospital has stayed open continuously since 1961, April 21st. except for 2 years. In 1978, during the War for Independence here in this country of Zimbabwe, the hospital shut down for 2 years. And Mr. Chimukangara, Friday Chim, was the first nurse back in 1980 following the closure of the hospital. And rumor is that when he showed up, even though he was the only person, there was no electricity, no running water at the time, people heard that the hospital was open and he had his hands full, delivering babies, and he was the main person. Finally, Dr. Drake and a few other nurses started coming out here and helping and assisting Mr. Chim, and gradually the hospital came back to full capacity again.
Many things are happening, and good things, not without challenges, but many opportunities to serve God here at Karanda. So I hope that you will help us as well. With 4 doctors and 30 nurses, we can't do it alone. We need your support. We're so appreciative of those who pray for us, those who provide financial support, those who come alongside us as volunteers to get dirty and work alongside of us, joining hands with us to provide care to the people in Zimbabwe. So thank you, and we just hope that you'll continue to be there for us, and we will continue to be able to serve God here at Karanda.